What's up, football fans? If you thought the Rams' overtime thriller against the Seahawks was the only drama this week, you haven't been paying attention to Puka Nacua's social media. The breakout star just capped off one of the most controversial weeks of his young career, and we need to break down everything that went down. From deleted tweets to apologies, to an absolutely explosive performance on the field, this story has it all. Let's dive in. So first, let's set the scene. Thursday night, Rams versus Seahawks, division rivalry, playoff implications on the line. This game had everything, back and forth scoring, incredible plays, and it all came down to overtime. The Seahawks walked away with a 38-37 victory, handing the Rams their fourth loss of the season. But here's where things get spicy. Right after the game, Puka Nacua fires off a post on X that basically throws shade at the officiating crew. The now-deleted post read, "Can you say I was wrong? Appreciate you Stripes for your contribution, LOL." Now, if you've been following the NFL this season, you know players calling out refs is nothing new. But the timing here, the fact that he deleted it so quickly, that tells you everything you need to know about how heated emotions were running after this loss. When reporters asked Rams head coach Sean McVay about the post in his post-game press conference, he basically threw his hands up. McVay said he didn't even know the post had gone out. You could see the frustration on his face, not just from the loss, but probably from having to deal with this situation on top of everything else. Look, McVay's one of the best offensive minds in football, but managing a young star who's constantly stirring the pot on social media, that's a whole different challenge. And this wasn't even Nacua's first rodeo with controversy this week. In fact, it was the third time in just 7 days that he'd found himself in hot water. The Rams dropped to 11-4 with this loss, and while they're still in great position for the playoffs, these are the kinds of distractions that can derail a team when it matters most. Okay, so let's rewind to earlier in the week. Nacua appeared on a live stream with Adin Ross, and if you don't know who that is, he's a popular streamer known for, well, let's just say controversial content. During this stream, Nacua went off on NFL officials. He called them the worst and suggested that refs are basically seeking attention and want to be celebrities themselves. Here's what he said. "These guys are lawyers. They want to be on TV too. You don't think he's texting his friends in the group chat like, 'Yo, you guys just saw me on Sunday Night Football.' That wasn't PI, but I called it." Now, look, plenty of players and fans have issues with officiating. It's part of sports. We've all screamed at our TVs over questionable calls. But when you're an NFL player, actively accusing refs of wanting fame and making bad calls just to get on camera, that crosses a line the league isn't going to appreciate. But that wasn't even the worst part of the live stream. Ross instructed Nacua to perform a specific celebration after his next touchdown. Spike the ball, flex, and rub his hands together. The problem? That hand-rubbing gesture is associated with harmful anti-Semitic stereotypes about Jewish people and money. To Nacua's credit, he issued a public apology before the Thursday night game. He posted a statement on a "Stand Up to Jewish Hate" graphic, explaining that he had no idea the gesture was anti-Semitic when Ross suggested it. His statement read, "When I appeared the other day on a social media live stream, it was suggested to me to perform a specific movement as part of my next touchdown celebration. At the time, I had no idea this act was anti-Semitic in nature and perpetuated harmful stereotypes against Jewish people. I deeply apologize to anyone who was offended by my actions, as I do not stand for any form of racism, bigotry, or hate of another group of people." The NFL also released their own statement saying, "The NFL strongly condemns all forms of discrimination and derogatory behavior directed towards any group or individual." The continuing rise of antisemitism must be addressed across the world, and the NFL will continue to stand with our partners in this fight. Hatred has no place in our sport or society. This was a serious situation, and the swift response from both Nacua and the league shows they understood the gravity of it. In today's world, athletes have massive platforms, and with that comes responsibility. Now here's what's wild about all this. Despite everything swirling around him, Puka Nacua went out there on Thursday night and absolutely balled out. We're talking one of the best performances of his career. 12 catches, 225 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns. Those are video game numbers, people. In a crucial divisional game with playoff seeding on the line, he showed up when his team needed him most. And notably, when he scored those touchdowns, he didn't perform the controversial celebration that had been suggested to him. This kid is clearly talented beyond belief. He's got the potential to be one of the elite receivers in this league for years to come. But these off-field issues? They're becoming a pattern, and patterns are what define careers. So what's the takeaway here? Puka Nacua is learning a hard lesson that many young stars have to learn. Everything you say and do matters when you're in the spotlight. Social media makes it so easy to fire off a hot take or agree to something without thinking it through. But those moments can define how people see you. The Rams need Nacua focused and locked in if they want to make a deep playoff run. At 11-4, they're still in excellent position, but these kinds of distractions can snowball if they're not addressed. McVay's got his work cut out for him managing this situation while also preparing for the stretch run. As fans, we love the passion and emotion that players bring to the game. But there's a fine line between passion and poor judgment. Calling out refs might get you some social media engagement, but it could also get you fined or suspended. And making gestures you don't understand? That's just careless. The good news is, Nacua seems willing to own his mistakes and learn from them. His apology appeared genuine, and he backed it up by not doing the controversial celebration. That's growth, and that's what we want to see from young players. Look, nobody's perfect, and Nacua's still young in his career. But this week should serve as a wake-up call. The talent is undeniable. Those 225 yards prove it. But talent alone won't get you to the Hall of Fame. You need discipline, maturity, and awareness of your platform. What do you think? Was Nacua right to call out the refs, or did he cross the line? Should the NFL come down harder on players for social media posts? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, smash that like button and subscribe for more NFL content. We'll see you in the next one.